So yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Glad to see you here. I'm going to be chairing today. Um, and yeah, we're going to be talking about data capture today. Um, yeah. So we're in the fourth session. The previous sessions were, or the previous two sessions were about the common data model. And then today, and then the next session are going to focus on data capture. And I think also we're going to have some presentations on REDCap, which is one of the ways to do data capture, though there are others, and I think they'll be discussed also, though the main focus will be on REDCap. Yeah, we'll have two presentations today, one by Philip on archiving and common data models for archiving, and one by Kibram on data capture and REDCap. And as always, there is more material online, I think, as for the previous sessions. So just to introduce a little bit, the importance of data capture is to actually collect the data, obviously, but it's doing it in a structured way. So now that you've been working on the common data models, and I'll give the floor to Liam in a second so that he can discuss the assignments. But now that you've been working on these common data models and have a bit of an idea of how this data should be structured, then the next step is to use this structure to capture data. And some really useful tools can be used for this, such as REDCap, which can be linked to the ontologies to make it easier. And in that way, you immediately have structured data. But I'll let the floor to the presenters who will explain it better. But first, Liam can have a word on the assignments.
Yes, thank you, Joe. So to start overall, great work, everybody. I feel like you all are definitely improving. I think I've given way more higher marks than in the first 2 weeks, so that's amazing. Um, a small thing to start with for the structure, make sure to always include a team name and the member names on the first page. In some cases, they weren't there, so I had to kind of look up whose assignment it was. So please always include the names. That makes it easier for me to know who I'm reviewing at the moment. Um, and when it comes to the content, uh, in the last week with the common data model and this week with the ontologies, you all give very good explanations of how you came to your answers and findings. Uh, but you don't always include the tables.
Ähm,
So for example, this week, oh,
Wer hat den Pacemaker eingesetzt?
so common.
I think you can continue, Liam.
Okay. My bad. Yeah, so for example, this week, um, some of you gave some great examples of ontologies, how you found them, how you implemented them, but then you don't show it. So please make sure to show it so I can actually see how your model would look. Because otherwise I can only grade your concept of the idea and not the idea itself. So please keep that in mind because I see a lot of good explanations, but then sometimes the actual uh, uh, result is missing, and that's just a shame because that might lower your score a bit. Then for this week's assignment you gave in, first of all, I'm very happy to see that a lot of you implemented the dueling core metadata very well. I saw it for some it was a bit confusing what it was. Very important that we all try to include this metadata because it will make your whole data model more fair, include the metadata of your model. I also saw some that include um, Dublin core ontologies for their rows in their data models. That's also very impressive, very good. So please keep up that work, and always if you can do a little extra, it's totally awesome. And I want to say I'm very happy to see that you're all improving. I feel like every week we get more and more to complete results. Beginning, sometimes some of the answers were a bit short, not as detailed, but I feel now everybody really understands how to go through the assignment step by step, include all the steps, include the documentation. So please keep it up. It makes it easier for me to understand your work and also to grade it. And I think also for yourself, it's easier to look back, see what you did before, how you did. Um, and then for the next assignment, typically you work off your previous assignment. So if you've really documented what you did, it's easier for your next assignment to build on top of that. Which is also what I want to congratulate you for. You did a lot of good work to continue from the previous assignment, from your common model, and then to include your ontologies. I saw a lot of good work from all of you. So please keep that up. And also, if you want more feedback or improvements, some of you already did it. They revised their previous assignment from my feedback and then submitted it again. You can just send it to me on WhatsApp, and then I'll review it again and give you some more feedback. And that way, hopefully, you can grow your competencies and make your assignment just a bit better. And then you have a better starting point for the next week. So please do that if you can. And for future assignments, I would say if you have at any point any feedback or something was unclear, or you feel like any of the material was not really useful or it didn't really match the assignment, please just write at the end of your assignment some feedback because it helps us improve the material. And if we hear that to a lot of you the assignment was unclear, then it's probably a fault on our end. So don't be scared to give any critique, any feedback, because it's only helpful for us and for you too. So that was all from my end. I think someone has a question.
I've raised my hand. You mean me? Or...
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Liam and everyone. I just wanted to ask because I felt a bit lost the past two assignments because I am not like a part of the team that's working on the data mainly, like experiences and reflect on the assignments. So it felt like I didn't know where to start. Of course, I was added to the group and I started communication this week, but I've already missed last week's assignments and I didn't know what they had listed. So I don't know because I haven't submitted the past 2 weeks. I want to compensate for that. But I don't know what data to use, what experience. So yeah, I'm just a bit lost on that and apologies, of course. Yeah. So any guidance from your side?
So you can always resubmit or submit late. That's totally fine. I will always give feedback. So you've missed the second and the third assignment?
Yes.
Okay. I think for the second assignment, you don't need to have any previous data or assignment. You can just start completely fresh. So I would say review the assignment, read through it, and also check the step-by-step guide that was included. I think that should give you a good idea of where to start. And then once you've completed that assignment, you can move on to the third. So I'd say read the assignments, and if you have any questions or still are a bit lost, then I can give you some guidance. But if you give you the assignment and the guide that should have a link, I think,
Okay.
or it should be on the Google Drive. Maybe we can send it in the group as well.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
If I can add, I
But I think with those
think
two documents, you should be able to. Okay, I think that's all from my end, so we can move on to the presentations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liam. Kokov, I just wanted to say maybe afterwards we can have a chat also with Yusuf and Ibrahim because you're part of the sexual violence group, so you would be working with them. But we can coordinate afterwards. I think maybe also Karima, though I don't think Karima is in this session.
Okay.
But Yusuf and Ibrahim, if you agree, let me know.
Thank you.
But thank you for raising that, Coco, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I realized I'd forgotten to share one page on the slide with you. So let me go back to that. There we go. So just wanted to show a little bit more of an overview so that everyone is able to follow where we're at in the training and what the steps are and why we're doing what we're doing, basically. So the first session was really about getting started and building a community. I know it's been slow for some, so anyway, we're always working on things, and if you feel like you're lagging behind, please let us know and we can see how we can help you. And then the first and the second session were also focused on deciding the terminologies that you want to use, specifically looking at the kind of data that you're working with. Then in the second session, we started looking at the common data model with the semantics and the structures and linking it to existing standards and other resources. And then in the third session, we expanded on the vocabularies that are relevant for the community, specifically also looking at the common data model. And in this session, we are looking at how to do the data capture with the structure from the common data model, and specifically creating structured templates for this data capture, and deploying the tools such as REDCap. So